Okay, now next we move on to disrupting fraud settlements using voice analytics. Now, fascinatingly, yesterday I was watching a television program from 1982 in which a voice-activated television remote control was used really ineffectively, and a guy was screaming at the remote control to try and get it to change the channel, and it wasn't working. Nowadays, we live in a completely different world of Siri and Alexa pretty much controlling all our household activities. I've also watched voice analytics develop over the years from its early days. What I'm really excited to hear about in this next session on disrupting fraud and settlements using voice analytics with Digilog is how Digilog have approached some of the problems which have beset voice analytics historically and are really producing a value-adding solution for insurers across the range of pricing, underwriting and claims. So I'm delighted to have Leo Koskas, as the CEO of Digilog to lead on our next session. Welcome, Leo.
Yeah, hi, Stuart.
So tell us a little bit about Digilog and what you do.
Well, Digilog has been around for a while, and I won't be surprised if many of you listeners either came across us, heard of us, or indeed the user of what we do. This is something that's been a while, this type of technology has been around, but most importantly is to emphasize how technology moves on as time goes. So I think it will be of an interest to everybody to hear where we got to these days. We specialize in providing validation platform which combines the latest voice risk analysis technology and human-based skills such as cognitive interviewing, conversation management, and other fraud detection and prevention related training. Our unique, I would say, solution provides organization the capability to validate customer information quickly, efficiently, and most importantly, in real time. And I think this is what makes us a bit different. The most significant impact that we can see of our solution is when it's deployed in a contact center where you have volume transactions and the speed of processing the application or the claim is very important. Not only from the fraud prevention and detection perspective, but also from a customer service, customer experience point of view. We operate mainly within the financial services arena, with the insurance industry being our bread and butter. We have expanded our provision in the last couple of years into many other areas such as banking, debt collection, HR, and legal. So I think that it is all about, what we do is all about validation, information validation in real time. And I think what the video that you're about to see will demonstrate and give you a little bit more information of how it all come together. And I would specifically let you or pay attention into the area within that video where there's a little bit of a case study, an exchange between an operator and a customer. Although it's filmed and use actors, the actual case is real. It will give you a very, very good insight of how this is all coming together and works in real time.
Brilliant. So let's roll the videotape so people can see Digilog in action.
Fraud is a problem that affects us all in society. Insurance fraud has reached epidemic levels, which has impacted the cost of premiums for the honest policyholder. The question is, how to solve this age-old problem? Digilog is the world's leading provider of risk reduction solutions for validating conversation-based transactions. The Digilog Advanced Validation Solution combines highly sophisticated and unique voice risk analysis technology with powerful behavioral analysis and conversation management techniques.
Working in conjunction with our clients, Digilog has grown from the success in the area of insurance claims to expand and include the successful screening of loan applications, insurance applications, pre-employment screening, and benefits.
The Advanced Validation Solution is much more than a mere product. It's a dynamic solution carefully designed and tailored to meet your business needs, accompanied by service excellence and geared to deliver substantial returns on investment.
How can I help you today?
Oh, hello there. Yes, my name's James Smith. Yeah, I need to report that my car's been stolen.
Please describe in detail where your car was left before it went missing.
It was parked directly outside my house on the road.
And tell me about all security devices fitted to your car.
It's got an aftermarket alarm and an immobiliser that was fitted to it before I bought it.
Why do you believe that your car was chosen by the person who took it?
What are you asking me that for? I can't really tell you that.
Please provide as much detail as possible about how you secured your car when you last parked it before it was taken.
Yeah, it's all locked up as usual.
How do you believe the car was taken?
I've got no idea. I honestly don't know.
How many keys in total have you ever had for your car?
I think I was given 2 keys when I bought the car.
And where is each key now?
Should be here at home. I'll have to have a look around for the spare one.
And how sure are you that everything you have stated so far is true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, I think everything I've told you is correct.
Over the past 10 years, Digilog has established a strong foundation within the UK insurance industry by offering the benefits to a variety of organisations and financial service providers.
First with only young drivers and now with Right Choice, I believe we're adding significant insight into customer behaviour with the end game for us of improving our insurers' loss ratios.
Customer service is at the core of the Digilog philosophy. Digilog significantly improves our clients' ability to fast-track genuine customers whilst identifying risk associated with the claim, application or dispute, irrespective of the customer's past, profile or geographic location.
Hi, I'm Mike Joseph, founder and managing director of Right Choice Insurance Brokers. Personally, I've been so impressed with the Digilog solution and believe that in the future more brokers and insurers will embrace this exciting concept.
We have already demonstrated the success of our innovative approach and will continue to change industry attitudes to the assessment of risk.
So that's fascinating, Leo. Just to paraphrase and simplify a little bit, actually quite surprising and really good to see that this isn't just a claim solution. This can, like a number of the solutions we're seeing tonight, can work at checking whether we've got the right risk on cover and validating the risk that we've got on cover, and then if someone has a claim, making sure that we're paying the right claims quickly and identifying the ones that carry risk. Does that paraphrase what you guys do?
No, absolutely. And I think that it's important to emphasize that. First and foremost, it's a tool that you use among the other tools that the organization are using today to fight fraud and improve customer service. So this is not to replace anything. This is to add another layer of validation into the process. And because you have the ability to do things in real time, those genuine customers will benefit from it, because you will be able to say within minutes that this conversation or this claim, this application, very likely to be genuine. Therefore, you don't need to invest any more time or put them through that prolonged investigation process, and just pay that claim or approve the application very quickly. So I think this is a key message to everyone.
I really like the idea that as a claims director, I can go to a board for sign off of the money to pay for this, alongside my pricing and underwriting director and actuary, where we can all say, actually, this solution provides value for all of us, and therefore much more easy to get board approval for.
Yes.
And that's in common with a number of the solutions we're seeing tonight. So, where are you seeing the system being used most effectively, Leo? What areas of the insurance value chain are using it and getting value from it?
Mainly in contact center, claims environment and application. I think that where the value is the ability for the organization to be able to highlight a potential risk within conversation quickly, and at the same time to being able to fast track genuine customers. I think it's maybe a good time to give a little bit more information about the actual technology itself, because the perception could be in the market that this is, a very complicated, very hard to implement type of system. And while the organization or the users or potential users understand how easy it is to actually obtain this and use it, it makes life a bit more easier for them to make that decision. Yeah. So I'll give you a little bit of an insight into the technology itself. First and foremost, we're talking about a software. So from an operator's perspective, very user-friendly, and from an IT perspective, and this is something that always been the Achilles heel in organization when it comes to IT time, it's very straightforward to install, and you need a minimal sort of requirement to put it in place. The whole technology is based on a mathematical algorithm that I don't want to get into too technical, but to give you a sort of an overview, it's based on analyzing the frequency of the voice. At the beginning of the conversation, we'll do a short phase of calibration, of establishing the customers we're talking to, what is his tone and voice reacts when he's telling us, giving us information that we know to be the truth, such as what's your name, what's your last name, what's your date of birth, or policy number, as an example. We're establishing a baseline, and within seconds, the system knows this is the way the customer voice reacts when it's genuine. Everything that customer will say later on that conversation as a response to fraud-related questions will be compared to that baseline. And the technology will look for those minute changes in the frequency that happens, whether we like it or not, when we give an information knowingly not to be the truth. And we just highlight it as an indicator on the screen. The latest technology combine machine learning and AI. So what we have today is even more advanced when it comes to actually the technology improving itself, the more conversation you put through the system and understand better of how the voice reacts. It's also a very sophisticated scripting mechanism or engine within that platform that allow the operator or guide the operator through that conversation in a very sort of a smart way. So it will know what the answer was and will pop up the next question based on the information it already have. On top of all this, and I think this is where it makes it very unique, is that we computerized anything to do with cognitive interviewing indicators. So as I said before, technology is the important part, but it's just a component within the overall validation process. What we need is the human skills, the training, the capability to have an input, a human input into the overall decision making. So the technology can give you some indication, but what you do need is that skilled operator to have his input into that overall outcome of that conversation. So we train operators how to listen to the customer, how to manage it, and how to spot areas of concern. And the combination of those two can really be powerful because you have a technology works in the background, and at the same time, skilled operator input this information into the conversation, and the bottom line will be a much better and robust risk assessment.
Brilliant. So really fascinating to hear that it's not replacing not replacing fraud handlers per se. It's probably replacing traditional fraud handlers and traditional fraud handling techniques. Really, really interesting. Just very, you've alluded to where the value is, but whenever we want to take these things to a board to say we have to have this solution for our insurance company, there has to be a show me the money element to it. So what's the core of the value proposition?
Well, it very much depends, obviously, at various factors. But in a nutshell, we designed it, and what we're offering today, unlike the perception that it is in the market, it's quite straightforward. What we try to show time and time again is, first and foremost, that you're going to see a significant return on investment, not just at the end of the process, but as quickly as possible. So obviously, depending on the value of the claim or the application, will have an impact on how quickly can you get to the return on investment. But what we try to do time and time again is to show at least 10 times return on investment within a proof of concept phase. So this is not a long period. We're talking about 3 to 6 months. You should see at least 10 times return on what your investment was to put this in place, which is significant. And we will be straightforward and we'll tell our prospective clients, listen, if they're doing a good job and we cannot improve on their fraud detection rate, we'll tell them, or we cannot achieve the level they want to get to. In most times, though, we can improve and we can show that return on investment. The other element is loss ratio, especially when you come to brokers and applications. So I'm sure the audience know, loss ratio is extremely important to those organizations, to insurers and brokers. And therefore, if you can improve even by slightest that loss ratio, that will have a significant impact on the bottom line. And again, by using this technology in the sales process, you will be able to validate application better and quicker, and therefore offer the customers. It's not about declining an application; it's about offering the client the cover at the right rate, knowing what the risk that involves in giving that cover.
I really like the idea of fraud solutions that exist to identify genuine claimants every bit as much as to identify those claimants who are trying to defraud you. Because if you can do that, then you actually improve the customer service you're giving to every customer, other than the ones who you're trying to defraud, you. So I think that I love that angle to it, Leo. It's powerful.
Absolutely, we can see that many companies at the moment, fraud is in the forefront, of course, but at the same time, you can see increased level of interest in ensuring customer service. Because at the end of the day, we all, or most insurers are sort of fighting for the same sort of market slice. Therefore, they need to show that customers getting what they deserve, because the vast majority of customers will be genuine, and therefore they deserve that good customer service. All of us are paying for those fraudulent activities. So if we are able to give them that journey, good experience, it is more likely when the renewal date comes for them to stay with them. And therefore, it is as important as fraud detection. But this is just so definitely high on the agenda. And at the same time, you can see other soft benefit that this type of solution can bring you, from not only for the business itself, from efficiency perspective, the ability to process the claims quicker or volume claims quicker, and then reduce costs for the business. It's soft benefit, much harder to quantify comparing to fraud, but it's still there, and we see that time and time again.
I know we'll have, and this is fairly compelling stuff, but I know amongst our watchers we'll have a significant element of the compliance community, and also the third-party claims handlers. And the questions that they'll ask are: can we use this in court, and can we produce this in a compliant, GDPR compliant way?
Oh, a valid question for sure. I'll deal with the first one first in terms of using this type of technology as in court. So the short answer is yes, but there's a but, and it's a big but. It cannot be utilized or used in court in isolation. It has to be part of a package of evidence. So if you, and we, although we haven't got all the way to the court system, it's been presented to the insurance ombudsman in the past, but as a package of evidence. So the insurers came and have gathered enough information alongside the information that our system provided, and therefore had a sort of a robust package to show they argue about that specific issue that they were dealing with. So it can be used, but not in isolation. It's important to understand, using Digilog, or using the technology and the techniques, is being there as an indicator. It's a guide you through that investigation, guide you through that conversation. It's not a decision-making tool. So organization using many tools in their armory to detect and prevent fraud. This is just another one of them. Very good one, but just another one. And therefore, it needs to be part of a sort of a package. In terms of GDPR, and I'm sure that was high on the agenda last year when it was introduced, we've done our homework in that sense. Digilog are not processing any client's information. It is down to the organization to ensure that they comply with GDPR. But in a nutshell, there's not. In the UK, we're quite ready for those changes in GDPR because we had a sort of a high capability or the readiness for the introduction of those changes. So there is no issues absolutely to using this technology, as long as, one, they comply with the data protection notice that they need to give to the customer at the beginning of the conversation, something that everybody does anyhow and done for a while. So just letting them know that they are using tools. They don't need to say what tools, but they're using tools for the purpose of fraud detection and prevention. And if the other change that GDPR introduces, that if the customer does require a copy of the information that came on the back of this use of any of those tools, the insurer must provide that to the customer. So no problem of using this technology as an indicator and a tool to help them to make the decision, but not the decision making.
Yeah. Leo, that's fantastic. I don't think there's any doubt at all that voice analytics is going to play a huge part in the entire insurance value chain as we move forward. It's great to hear about a product that can work throughout the value chain and can offer such great value. Thanks very much for your time.
No, thank you.